That's great. And as I understand, you recently entered the Vietnam market. And I would say this is a very tough financial situation to enter a market. Can you talk about why you decided to enter Vietnam at this stage?
People, the Vietnamese people are very active and energetic. And I think the country of these almost 100 million people is now ready to enter what we believe is a hyper-growth phase. And not just the people in Vietnam, but the people also in the region. If you look at the number, you'll see that the connectivity among the ASEAN countries is getting stronger and stronger. The decoupling between the East and the West has put Southeast Asia as a new global growth driver. So, and Vietnam will become the leader in this round of growth. So we've been planning this Vietnam entry for actually quite a long time. We've been opening our representative office 5-6 years ago, and finally the Vietnamese government has allowed us to open a bank here. So we established the branch last year in November. Happy to be here, and I think we are here at the very right time. So the Vietnam economy is growing, and the people are becoming more positive. So it'll be a lot of fun, and hope we can become part of it. Hope that we can support the Vietnamese economy.
That's great. Yeah, I think I definitely agree with your perspective. Being here on the ground, I see there's so much energy and a lot of positivity. You see the economy booming again. Things are picking back up again after COVID. I'm curious, what research did you see outside of Vietnam that made you think, oh, Vietnam will be one of the leading countries in Southeast Asia?
So the domestic market is actually very, very big. And there's still a large opportunity, right? We still see a lot of unbanked population in the country. And also in terms of economy, this round of development, we see Vietnam is a very strong exporter and manufacturer of a lot of high-value product, not just as an OEM, but also the Vietnamese brand. So both the domestic product, the investment and the export will grow in Vietnam very interestingly. So we are very happy that we can become part of it.
That's definitely great. I think KBank's history in Thailand gives you a very strong foundation as you enter the Vietnam market. As you mentioned, the economy is growing, and there are a lot of large businesses as well as small businesses here in Vietnam that are growing and continuing to progress in the market. You mentioned that you're interested in the Vietnam market because there's a lot of growth. Can you talk about what specifically within the market are you interested in, and where do you see that growth?
Actually, it's not easy to choose because everywhere we go in Vietnam, we see that every segment is growing very quickly. Of course, as a new bank, following the Thai investor will be the first thing that we do. That's the common pathway when we open a new bank in a new country. And as I mentioned before, the connectivity between Thailand and Vietnam is getting stronger and stronger. So we can see the foreign direct investment from Thailand coming to Vietnam, and also the trade volume between the two countries are also growing quite significantly. But when we come to Vietnam and we start the branch, we also realize that the local business in Vietnam in every segment is also growing. So apart from the Thai businesses that we need to serve, we also start right away with the Vietnamese large corporate. But then again, start interacting with the business community in Vietnam, we also realize that there's a big growth in the SME. Right? One of a very big thing that we observe in Vietnam is that, this is what my personal observation since the first time I come to Vietnam. I don't see any house, right, as a residential property, right? Everywhere I go, every building, every house is a shop, So we sense that the entrepreneurial spirit of the Vietnamese people are very strong. And this is, I think, the most important ingredient, right, of the strong SME segment. And when we actually go and look at the number, we found that there are millions of SME businesses in Vietnam, and they are contributing to over 40% of the Vietnamese economy, right? And moving forward, we believe it will be more. Not just that, just before we opened the branch, we found that the State Bank of Vietnam, which is one of the most modern regulator in the region, has already announced the eKYC. For banking, KYC or know your customer is a big thing because we need to be prudent with the business to serve the real people and the right people. So the big regulatory requirement for every bank is to do the know your customer or KYC correctly.